Might not be the top of the tour, but still 2 flights of stairs to get up here.
Yeah.
No recovery drink?
No, not today, mate. Welcome to our rest day wrap-up, where we summarise week 2 of the Tour de France. Now, we're not on the top of the Col de Tourmalet, nor in fact anywhere near France, but regardless, these are 5 things we think you should know about week 2 of the Tour de France. Number 1, the Fab Four are faltering.
They certainly are. Last week we speculated that the Fab Four could actually go up to the Fab Five with the inclusion of Van Garderen, but after that very first mountain stage, the day after the rest day, well, those numbers were dwindling and it almost looked like a Fab One with Chris Froome seeming almost determined to embark on a solo career.
Yeah, Vincenzo Nibali, last year's winner of course, was the first to go out the back of that group, and he had shown signs of weaknesses earlier in the race, particularly up the Mur de Bretagne, and then Alberto Contador was next out the back from the Fab Four, visibly tired, I think, after his exploits earlier in the season.
Yeah, TJ looked good, but certainly not spectacular, and Quintana just did everything he could to minimise his losses to Froome on the day. Froome himself, though, has looked unbeatable, not just on that first mountain stage, but on the entire Tour de France so far. In fact, his rivals now look quite subdued, and they're probably at a loss as to exactly what they can do to shake Froome and his Team Sky.
Warren Barguil's just had a good go, knocking Geraint Thomas off. That's probably the way.
It's true. That's probably what they've got left to use now, isn't it? That kind of tactic.
Although, interestingly, actually, if you break down Quintana's time losses behind Froome, he's only lost a minute in the mountains. The rest of it is entirely due to time losses in that flat, or predominantly flat, first week. So maybe there is still a battle to be done in this final week. Number 2. Geraint Thomas surprises, or does he?
Well, Thomas is a former gold medalist in the Olympics on the track, and earlier this year he won a semi-classic in the form of E3 Arelbeke up in Belgium. Now he's climbing amongst the world's best in the Tour de France. Now, the fact that he is up there with the likes of Contador and Nibali is impressive, but in our opinions, not that surprising.
No, so this year he won the Volta à Algarve. He was second at the Tour de Suisse, and then he was 5th at Paris-Nice, a race that, don't forget, last year he very nearly won until he crashed out late on in the race. So he's very much in a mould of a Sean Kelly, isn't he? A rider that can win both classics and stage races alike.
Yeah, I mean, we've long speculated and debated as to whether Thomas should focus purely on classics or purely on stage racing, and now I'm surprised that people are surprised that he's now good at stage racing. Anyway, his team leader at Sky, Chris Froome, has stated that he doesn't think it'll be long before Geraint Thomas leads a Grand Tour team in his own right.
No, he wouldn't be surprised, I don't think.
No. Did say surprised quite a lot, didn't he?
Yeah, surprisingly. Number 3. I don't even want to do this one, mate.
You want me to do it?
Yes.
Nibali in freefall.
Yes. Yeah, this year's biggest disappointment at the Tour de France is last year's winner, Vincenzo Nibali. Now, he's shown no signs of the form that won him 4 stages plus the overall last year. He lost time in the flat stages, in the crosswind, he's lost time in the high mountains, and he now sits in 9th place overall, a whopping 7 minutes back.
Yeah, now Nibali has been completely unable to explain his lacklustre performance so far this year, but one thing's for sure, his team manager Alexander Vinokourov has been completely unhappy. Now, there were rumours that he wanted to release Nibali from his contract at the end of this year, although he was quick to quash those rumours, releasing an official team statement saying that Nibali will be a part of the squad next season, but they do want him to ride and win the Vuelta a España, so no pressure there then. One more thing I would like to add. Nibali's performance at the Tour de France does seem to completely contradict whatever you predict.
Without a shadow of a doubt, Vincenzo Nibali. Number 4, Sagan can't win.
Oh yeah, maybe this should have been number 2.
Yeah, favourite place.
Yeah.
Sagan, 2nd place in the GCN wrap-up.
Yeah, Peter Sagan is an absolutely incredible cyclist. We stated as much on the show last week, our rest day wrap-up, but he seemed unable to actually win a stage. I think Daniel Free put it best on Twitter when he said, Peter Sagan is the new Greg Van Avermaet. Basically a reference to the fact that Van Avermaet for years has been known as the nearly man of cycling. However, this year he's twice managed to push Peter Sagan into 2nd place, including on a stage in the 2nd week of this year's Tour de France.
Yeah, it's now a full 2 years Peter Sagan, last won a stage of the Tour de France. For most people, that's not exactly unheard of. I mean, we haven't won stages in the last 2 years, have we?
No, we haven't won stages for years,
No. Yeah. Anyway, but for a man of Peter Sagan's talent and consistency, then that is incredibly frustrating.
I think for a man of Tinkoff's wealth, it's quite frustrating as well.
Absolutely.
Can't buy wins.
Number 5. Everybody loves MTN Quebec. Now, as is usual at the Tour de France, it would seem there's been a lot of insinuation and rumour and controversy flying around with regards to certain riders' performances, both from the public and also from the press.
Yeah, but what has been very evident is what a feel-good factor there is surrounding the MTN Quebec squad, the first ever African team to participate at the Tour de France. Now, when Steve Cummings won on stage 14, everybody was delighted for them. That included the rest of the peloton, it seemed. But given that Quebec is such a worthy charity, perhaps it shouldn't be that surprising.
Now, if you want to see more from the MTN Quebec team, then why not check out Louis Monkey's bike? And you can get through to it just by clicking up there.
Yeah, and once you've done that, you can also look at a load more Tour de France content, which we've handily put all into the very same playlist for you. And you can find that in this little box just down there.
Such a great idea, that, isn't it? I don't know who came up with that.
No,
anyway,
wasn't me.
The other thing that you need to do before you go to either of those is subscribe to GCN. You might as well.
Right, we're done now. I'll get my recovery drink.
I'll get your recovery drink down. Well done again for climbing the stairs.
Have I got to go down the stairs to get my recovery drink?
You know there's a lift?
Oh, is there?
Yeah.